I mean, yeah, it's completely unacceptable to be fat as a man, man. It's completely unacceptable because a lot of guys think this way. Oh, I'd just be a nice guy and girls are gonna like me. No, they're not. She's not gonna suck your dick with the same velocity when you're fat as when you're in shape. She's just not. Just to be clear, are we speaking about women being attracted to men?
It's not just about women. It's just about attraction. What is the most attractive, in your opinion, physique for a man?
Okay, I'm speaking from like what women find attractive. So when I speak, that's what I don't think it's as subjective as guys are trying to say. Attraction isn't a choice.
The question was, are Jack men more attractive? We all walked over. Are we more attracted to Jack men?
Yeah. Well, men can be attracted to men.
If I had to switch teams, I'm going with the Jack guy.
I mean, you deserve to be depressed. I mean, the reality is that, depression is a very healthy response to inadequacy. And I think we need to go back to shaming fat people. We need to go back to making fun of them. I mean, if I was president, hell, I'd put all of them in a fat concentration camp so they can concentrate on dieting and exercising. What if I told you at the camp, everyone's exercising together and they're inspiring each other? Same thing.
Wow. Planet Earth. Red. That's why I live in outer space. I take the money to another level. I take the plane to another level. I take the highest to a new level. I take it high to a new level. Keep niggas way past you to show. Yeah, I ain't mean to burst your bubble, but
Introduce us, Dmilz. Get us in here.
All right, and we're back, and this is episode 3 of the podcast. This is Dylan.
This is Michael.
And we are here. We have a few things to get into today. Do you want to mention what they are before, or do you want to kind of just start with one of the topics?
Yeah, we will, but let me get into the commenters first real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, shout out the commenters.
Sorry for that clip you heard, but Jalen9488 6 days ago said, not seeing Wolf on Wall Street is crazy. Good takes, though. Came away more educated. For real, for real. Got to hear more about Dylan's father figure growing up. And then blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go into it because that's his private comment. If you want to read the rest of it, go into it. But thank you, Jalen, for commenting. We appreciate it very much.
Yeah. Father figured? What is he talking about?
I think he was trying to, because we mentioned on that episode, we kind of need to get you like a role model or a father figure. Right. And he explains that in his comment that his sister's, or I'm sorry, not his sister, his girlfriend's father figure is The Rock. Let me read it.
Interesting.
Yeah, The Rock. So it's just kind of funny, I thought. And so there's a couple more comments I'll get into real quick right here. I want to thank Jace Payment 4751 for a repeat comment. He says, confirmed Dmilz is not a snitch. LFG. That's actually wrong. Dmilz is a snitch. He's ratted me out to the federal government plenty of times. He's given them my home address, my phone number, my social security number, my emails, where I work, what I do for a living, my hobbies, my interests. He's given them everything. The grocery stores I go to, my bank account number, my bank. This is so not a snitch. Can't agree with you. Good guy? Yes. Great guy. Great morals, great character. Will sell you out to the federal government. But that's okay. That's what you look for in a friend. A snitch. Listen, if you need a snitch on your side, you kind of want a friend to snitch. Just thinking. And then another comment we have is Lizzie For Real 747, #1 podcast. Come on, shorty, tap in. Watch out, shorty. Come on, shorty. Don't hype me up like that, shorty.
Shout out.
But the things we had to talk about today, we had the Netflix is a Joke Festival is going on, and there was the roast of Tom Brady. That was
the greatest roast of all time.
The greatest roast of all time. If you want to see the goats get roasted, you're going to want to tune in to Netflix. This is where they have all of the best content. 3 hours of the freaking football goats getting roasted. That's all I got to say about that. And then what was the other thing we were going to talk about? We were going to talk about the rap beefs, right?
Yeah, for sure. We can talk about that.
Or what did you have on mind?
No, yeah, that sounds good to me.
And then I also had a Reddit thing that I pulled up that we'll get into. Dmilz doesn't know it yet, so I'll have to read it out to him. But let's get into the Netflix is a Joke Festival, the Tom Brady Roast. So the Tom Brady Roast is on Netflix. It was a live event. 3 hours. Kevin Hart hosted it.
Yeah, Kevin Hart was yapping for a long time.
God, the king of little man yap, dude. God damn it.
He sure knows how to talk and not shut up.
At the beginning, it was very good. He had a good opening. He had a couple good jokes. He opened it up very well. And then his opening roast set, very hard. Talking about you're the smartest football player ever. How did you not see your wife cheating on you?
Didn't he make the joke that made Tom mad at first?
No, that was Jeff Ross that made the joke. But I don't think Tom Brady. So Jeff Ross makes a joke about. So after Kevin Hart's roast, Jeff Ross, famous roaster, comes onto the stage. He's the one that actually does the joke. He says something about how when Robert Kraft drafted Tom Brady, part of the deal was Tom Brady had to give Robert Kraft massages. And so Tom Brady comes up to the mic on the stage and goes, "Don't say that shit ever again." But I think it's more of a joke. I don't think he was being dead ass. I think he was trying to make it funny. And he's Tom Brady, not a comedian. So they don't realize that he was trying to be funny. You know what I mean? That's what I think of it, at least. What do you think of that?
That part didn't really land for me.
Really?
Yeah. There was a couple jokes, though, about Giselle where Tom was real upset and sad looking. And he took a couple drinks.
Of course.
I mean, big rip. He's looked a little sad out there a couple times, but there were quite a few good jokes in there.
Welcome to a roast. You're one of the best football players ever. What is there to roast you about? You know what I mean? You have to roast him about his life. You got to roast him about the fact that he kisses his kids on the lips.
Jokes about that.
The kids on the lips?
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that too, dude.
I thought half the jokes were going to be
I didn't finish it all because I fell asleep. Mr. Tired Pants over here. I'm Mr. Poopy Pants. I go tired quick.
Maybe Brady said no jokes about my kids, please.
That's understandable. I mean, you don't want to bring the kids into it. They're young kids. You know, you start bringing the kid jokes in, then you start dragging in like minors that can't do. They can't defend themselves. So that's just fair to not do to them. But my favorite jokes throughout it, genuinely, and this is one thing before we get into that. This is one thing you said too, Nikki Glazer. You like Nikki Glazer.
Yeah, I don't really know who she is, but she's just like
she's just comedian and podcaster.
She had a good little set.
She had a good little set where she was going off about how she thinks she has a chance with Tom Brady, and but just roasting absolutely everyone. It was fucking hilarious. And Nikki Glazer, very fine woman. What do you think about that?
I don't agree.
Really? No agree? Well, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, I guess, brother. That's all we got to say about that. And then a couple other comedians come on, podcasters. I love Tony Hinchcliffe. I love Andrew Schultz. I love Bert Kreischer. I love Tom Segura. Sam Jay is hilarious. Jeff Ross is hilarious. I love all these guys, like all these comedians, all these podcasters. I love them. They're hilarious. So that was just a good thing to tune into. You just watch Tom Brady get roasted by comedians, and yeah, they go a little hard on Tom Brady. I mean, there's not much to roast the best player of all time about. What do you want to do? You know what I mean?
The players had some pretty good jokes too.
Oh yeah, Gronk got a little drunk and was yapping on that shit.
Kevin Hart made Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft take a shot together.
That's true.
That shit was goofy as fuck.
The big kind of census of this is that like that I've kind of been hearing or seeing about is that like comedy is kind of like back a little bit is what people are saying is like even though it's kind of like been back, like that was like a public stage of like millions of people probably watching where like people were openly calling each other gay. And Kim K too. Kim K had the trans jokes. Like if you remember, Kim K was talking about how Tom Brady could still transition to a woman. You know what I mean? Like he can still be a woman and the best football player of all time. She was doing the Caitlyn Jenner jokes and surprised me out of Kim K. You know what I mean? She was like, the one thing that still surprises me from it all is like how she says her stepdad. Like she says stepdad and then she. That confuses me a little too much. You know what I mean? To say like my stepdad is the most beautiful woman or something like that. That's not what she said, but something like that. You know what I mean? Like, whew, that confuses me. I don't know why, but it's just like it throws my brain through a loop because
That's still her father.
it's still her father and it's still her stepdad, but she's a woman now. So, Caitlyn Jenner, whew. Yeah, I have another other one I liked was, you said you didn't like, but Sam J. Sam J was really good. Sam J is a dyke lesbian. And
I just didn't find hers that as funny as some of the other ones.
that's understandable. I think I liked her jokes because she's a lesbian and talking about how she would want Tom Brady to be her last person to fuck her to see if her pussy was good. Like, that joke is absolutely hilarious. But one thing I had thought about was one thing I was fantasizing about a little bit at work was what would it be like if I was in a relationship with like a dyke lady? And I imagine it would go a little bit like this for me. So it'd be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the Subaru dealership. Did you want to come with me?" And I'd go, "Yeah, I want to come with you. I want to go to the Subaru dealership. Can we get a Forester?" No, I want the 2024 Outback LL Bean edition. And that's just kind of a couple things. That's just to sum it up. But a couple other things about the Netflix is a Joke Festival is that, yeah, what I touched on is everyone's saying comedy is back. And I don't know. Do you think comedy is back? Do you think it was ever gone? Or do you think that like comedy might have a better chance now?
I don't know. I don't pay that much attention to that stuff, to be honest. So I don't really know. I never thought it was gone, but I don't know that much about it because I don't pay attention.
No, that's actually something that's interesting to me because, like, like obviously through all the cancel culture and stuff, it was like hard for comedians to like be open and say like anti-trans or maybe even say like
stuff online all the time.
Exactly. So that's what I was saying. Like, to say it's back, I don't think it was like almost ever gone. Like, yeah, it was like maybe frowned upon and you could get canceled, but like, did anyone really ever get canceled? Harvey Weinstein's back in the news 2 weeks ago. Kevin Spacey's in the news 3 weeks ago.
Brother,
you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know what you're trying to say by that. Those people are terrible.
Those
guys.
are just two of the first people that were canceled, right?
Hey Google, turn the bedroom lights to green.
Right? Like, weren't those like during the cancel culture? Weren't like those two big guys that were like pushed during the cancel culture? Was Kevin Spacey?
Brother, Harvey Weinstein got arrested because he did he fucking molested people. He fucking drugged women. Kevin Spacey molested little boys. That's why they got canceled, Michael. It's not because of jokes they made or, it's not related at all. It's like completely different in my mind. It's not related in any sense at all. Those people were rapists.
But I was talking about cancel culture.
Those people are rapists and molesters. You don't think they should be canceled?
No, I wasn't saying that. I wasn't saying that at all.
Confused.
I was just saying like about cancel culture was just like, did cancel culture even do anything? Because yeah, those guys are rapists and pedophiles, but weren't they just in the news 2 weeks ago?
I never saw anything about Kevin Spacey in the news, and Harvey Weinstein's only in the news because he got some case dropped somehow.
Yeah, and that's just, you know what I mean? So it's like those
guys it doesn't mean that he's going to be able to do or produce anything anymore. So, because he was in the news, it doesn't mean he's going to be able to produce a movie ever again.
That's fair. See, I don't know these things, brother. I don't think about this shit. You know what I mean? That's why I need your opinion on this. That's why I'm asking, talking about it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to like offend you or anything.
No,
I'm just like
that's
I genuinely
just
don't know.
Completely different in my mind. That's like those guys are fucking terrible, awful people. That's completely different than canceling someone for a joke. You know what I mean? I get like you're just like asking, I guess, but yeah, I don't even see those as similar things at all.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. You're right. You're right.
But then I don't know, the news thing. It's like that has no merit either because like they're in the news because of just because that he got out doesn't mean that he's gonna be like making money producing a movie or he's gonna.
True, but yeah, But those guys will always make money because their movies are still out, so they're not. That's not like what I was worried about. It's their money.
It's not. I don't know. I didn't mean. It didn't need to be brought up, but
Yeah, I'm not like worried about those guys, but I guess you're right that I kind of just got off on a little bit of a stupid tangent there.
No,
Those
I
people
just
aren't
sorry.
related,
I
but-
kind of got annoyed there too for
No,
a sec.
it's
I just
alright.
got. I was
Alright.
like those guys are just like
No,
those are actual
you're
like
right. I
fucking
just need
brother,
brother, sometimes I need
those
the
guys are
fucking
rapists. Like
brother, sometimes I need the sense slapped into me straight.
like I said, I
you
just watched
did.
the whole Kevin Spacey
No, you're all
documentary.
good.
That guy's terrible.
I don't know
That
anything,
guy
brother.
should be.
That's why I was. That's
that
kinda-
guy should be. You know, like
Yeah.
definitely those type of people should not be around.
What was the article you said that you were telling me about earlier about him?
Oh, I watched like a video that
Or a
talked
video.
about like a kind of small mini documentary that was talking about like a ton of like the different people and things that he did to them, and basically he would just like just be nice to like other male actors that are with him at first, and then he'd like all of a sudden like start grabbing their crotches and like and like yeah, and like trying to like take it, yeah, like fuck these dudes basically.
Dude, it's just old crotch slap.
No,
That's
but
funny.
then there's like this was like people that were like like kids too.
Jesus.
Yeah. Then it was like even like House of Cards when that was going on.
Yeah, that's the show. Sorry
There's
to break
literally
you
a
up right there.
scene in House of Cards where he does some weird like fruity shit where he has a wife in the show, but then they get like this Secret Service guy to like join in with them, and like he starts kissing the Secret Service guy,
Oh,
and then like
Jesus.
so that and this show is like partly produced by him. So it's even fucking weirder to think
So
that like
he's the one that's like
this
calling
guy
the shots.
yeah,
This
and
is how
this
it's
guy
gonna go.
literally and this is like the type of stuff he
yikes.
was actually into probably, and was fucking
And I remember you sent me that video of him doing that YouTube video about when he kind of got canceled, and he's like playing his character in House of Cards. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That
that
video
dude's-
was just kind of weird.
yeah,
in general.
he's fucking crazy for that.
I'll have to link that video into like the description or something. but that
Yeah,
video was
basically after
just
like a
insane.
couple years after like all this stuff came out, his defense when he got in like trouble and everything was just, oh, like I'm gay. I've been gay this whole time. And it's like, brother, it's not it's not that you're gay that's the problem. It's that you were fucking like you were advancing on people who were not interested,
Yeah.
and on underage people.
That
Those
is
are
just-
like against the law. It's like
that is just so fucking insane and funny to me. That is just his excuse was, I'm just a gay pedophile. What'd you want? Like, what'd you expect? Like, that is insane. That's what his excuse was essentially.
it doesn't matter. Just because you're gay doesn't mean you can just like
Yeah,
make
exactly.
advances on
Exactly.
people.
Yeah, he just went. He just thought like because of who
Like
he
that was his
like, that
good
was
excuse.
A-okay.
Like yeah, like that was gonna.
That,
Yeah.
like,
So for anyway, he gets canceled obviously because of like that weird shit, and he was on this show called House of Cards where he played the president, and in the show he'd kind of do like this fourth wall thing.
yeah.
where
What is House of Cards about?
It's a political show about how he is basically in the beginning he's a senator and he takes over to become president, but later on he becomes president in the show. And in the show he does like these monologues where he kind of like fourth wall breaks, and he like looks at the camera and he kind of like talks to you about like he'll give you like a monologue about like some old saying his family had because he grew up in like Georgia or something, and then like something about like something dark.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
kinda
everything
what's
would freeze in House of Cards too.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Kevin Spacey does in House of Cards. It's just like a similar thing.
And then at the end of the scene he has like this ring that's like important to him in the show, and at the end of the scene he always like taps the ring on like the desk or like wherever he's at. And yeah, so basically after he got canceled and everything, like a year after like not really saying anything, one of the cases got dropped. And when one of the cases got dropped, it was around Christmas time, and he dropped this like 6-minute or 4-minute video on his YouTube channel, and
It's the
it's just
craziest
him
video ever.
monologuing as his character Frank Underwood, like looking at the camera and addressing the allegations. And he's like, you guys have always wanted me. And he like tries to make it seem like we like people like are waiting for him to come back, and like people don't care what he did because he's so good at like acting, I guess. Or like it's real weird. He's like addressing the allegations as himself, like about himself, but as his character.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
This is a video, like, if this was a video that you knew, like, imagine, if you see this video, imagine if like someone you knew made that video. Imagine like if a friend made a video like that. You would go, oh, that person's insane. You know what I mean? So if a friend would do that and you would call them insane, why the fuck is this guy not, like, you know what I mean? He needs to be viewed as like an insane, crazy person for making just the video in itself. I didn't know much about the guy, but you sent me the video. Just watching it doesn't make any sense. He's like almost acting as if he's like not almighty powerful, but as if he knows he has more power than everyone.
It's really disturbing to watch, especially after knowing that he was, like I said, like making advances and abusing
after you know
people.
that he was a gay pedophile and you watch this video, you go, oh, this guy was, you think this guy was like a Hollywood actor? It's odd. That seems like that's what
and
Hollywood
this guy
entertainment
was
in our
in
world,
so
in
he
our-
started in theater, so like he was probably doing the same stuff to people in theater for years as well. It sounded like, because the video I was talking about was like about how he started in theater, and he was doing the similar stuff then as well. So this guy was doing this for like 25, 30 years, and people knew, like, in the industry, and it just didn't come out for years, you know? It's just like, they just, like, people joked about it, like producers on shows, and like apparently like people knew that Kevin Spacey was like this, and they just like didn't really like say anything because, you know, a lot of the time he's like their boss, like he's a higher up on the show or something like that, so they just felt like if they said something they'd be taken off the show or you know, lose their chance or whatever. So
those people have a position of power, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, and whether they want to acknowledge it or not. They do have a position of power. But sorry to get this sidetracked. This kind of just reminded me of a story. When I was at Timberline, brother, my sophomore year of high school, I took this class called digital photography. And I kind of only took the class because I would see like kids around the school, walking around the school with like cameras on. So they were just like out of class, like third or fourth period of the day, just like walking around the school taking pictures. And I see those kids and I go, why would I not want to take that class? That class looks like dope. I just get to not go to class. Great. So I take the class, and I've heard rumors about the teacher throughout the year that this teacher's like a weird guy. He like touches on kids, right? I've heard like once or twice through the grapevine that this teacher has touched a student or two, like on the shoulders, and that's just kind of like an uncomfortable thing for students.
yeah, for sure.
So I take the class because it's kind of just a class that interests me. I don't want to go to class. I kind of want to just fucking walk around and take pictures. Average high schooler shit. Who wants to go to class? I take the class, and first day into the class, we do like a hypothetical question. The hypothetical question is you have these like 6 people, and each person has a description all different from each other, but basically labeling out a little kid, an adult woman, an adult pregnant woman, an adult man, an old man, and an old woman. Out of those 3 people, who would you take to leave Earth to go start a new colony on Mars or something like that? And this teacher's an old guy, so I'll just set that example right now. So that was like first day experiment we did, is who would you take out of those 3 people to Mars to start a new colony? And the group consensus is that you would take an adult man, probably the pregnant woman, and the child. Just easy. The pregnant woman can already bring the child, bring another child. She can probably create another child. Adult man, already another child. Boom, we can start colonizing right now a little bit. But so that's what the group consensus was. And when no one chose like the old man and the old woman to go, he like flipped shit in the class. He like literally started yelling in the class saying how like we're making the wrong decision and none of us know what we're talking about because we would need the wisdom of elders to create a new civilization. Just crazy. Like this guy goes from like, so who would you choose, to immediately like, you guys are freaking idiots.
He got actually
Just
heated?
like spazzed, like actually heated and spazzed. And that's
Really?
day 1. Day 2 of the class, we're on the computer learning how to open up computer programs, Photoshop and Adobe, other things like that. And I already knew a little bit of Photoshop work. So while he's like going through the Photoshop, little like tutorial stuff, I was like in the back of the class photoshopping some devil horns on his head. And I got in trouble that day.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, I'm a bad kid, but I don't care. So I got in trouble that day, and he moved me to the back of the class where I sat with no one. Now I sat with no one in the back of the class.
You're
no
isolated?
one. Isolated by myself. Third day of class, dude, we're working silently on a project on Photoshop, and this guy comes around and grabs my shoulders and goes, Michael, what you did yesterday was not nice. Like, straight up like that. And then I just, like, fucking looked at him crazy and was like, can you not? Just, like, kind of just, like, literally was, like, kind of pushed his fucking, brushed this guy's hand off because it was fucking insane this guy was touching me. 16-year-old man, my fucking parents or father doesn't even touch me like that. I've got this fucking adult old male teacher groping me, literally in class, essentially, grabbing on my fucking shoulders. And after that day, I like went to my counselor and I switched out of the class. And when I like told the reason to the counselor, they like switched me that day. Like there was no hesitation. Like I got switched like the next day. I didn't.
So
have to
they
go to
know
that
about
class.
this guy being weird?
So they knew about this guy obviously being weird because they expedited my class change like that day. And then later that year, that teacher gets fired. And then I remember like an article, I think, where he like maybe goes to jail or maybe it's just like an article where the police were looking into him. Something like that.
There's a guy at the cross-country camp that I went to in the summer cross-country camps in high school.
That one we talked about in the earlier episode, right? I think we talked about it because you were talking about how you went to cross-country camp and I went, gay!
Yeah, maybe, but just briefly. But yeah, I went to ones in the summer a couple times at White Pass, and one of the
Oh, that's cool.
counselors there. Yeah, so it's in the summer, so you run up the fucking like the ski lift. It's hard. It's hard. Yeah, it's steep.
Jesus.
So there's this fucking dude that's mad weird. He like hangs out with the girls a lot, and he like paints his nails with them, and he dresses up in like tutu. And he like does this weird stuff around the like camp. So the next like I think he was there like, you know, sophomore and junior year, and then senior year he's not there. And there's an article that comes out that this guy was like, yeah, like fucking doing some weird shit with kids, and he got arrested.
Man. Jesus.
And yeah, he was a cross country coach at like Elma or something. Like somewhere in Washington State. It was crazy.
Yeah, I don't.
We called him Ballerina Man.
Ballerina Man.
Yeah, because he had the tutu on.
He's acting fruity as hell, dude.
Yeah,
That is
Ballerina
pretty
Man
fruity,
was
but,
off that.
I don't like that at all, man.
There's way too many weird teachers. There's always like there's teachers at every like school that like always like seem like they're like look at girls a little too weird in class and stuff like that. There's always a weird teacher like that.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's for damn sure. I had a couple teachers like that.
That's
that
weird.
Would, like act weird towards the girls, and like the girls had complaints, but I feel like high school girl complaints really aren't heard for some reason.
That's weird.
That's not like arguing on their side. It's just I can remember like my complaint got expedited in a day. And women's complaints don't usually seem to get heard.
Well, it sounds like that guy was already having
he already
quite
had
a
a
few
case
problems.
building up against him. So
yeah,
it was just fucking insane. But let's take a break right here.
All right, we're back in it. On the break, me and Dmilz were talking about some things that make me absolutely mad.
both of us.
Both of us. Movie theaters. So there's so many movies that come out, and me and Dmilz love going to go and see movies. The one thing about seeing movies for me, genuinely, is I don't like going to a movie theater and there being people. The people, like I was just telling you, the people at movie theaters are so inconsiderate. And it's just like, they ruin my movie experience. It's hard to watch a movie knowing there's other people there. Just, sometimes they're okay. Pack theater I don't like.
Yeah.
A little bit of people is fine. But I was saying, at our last movie theater, I don't know what movie we saw. Maybe you can remember. You could probably check and bring it up.
Start telling the story.
But, oh my god, dude. Me and D-Mills are at this movie, and we're sitting in the seats, and this woman has her phone charged on the stairs walking up the row to the seats, and there's a little plug-in into the wall. She has her phone charging. And a couple times throughout the movie, this woman has the setting on her phone where the flashlight will go off when she gets a text. So a couple times
just
throughout
like
the movie,
strobes.
it just out of nowhere, and the right side of our eyes, me and Dmilz would just get blinded by strobe lights because this woman is just so inconsiderate, awful. Just these people make me so mad. It gets me so mad that I need to see a therapist.
What did
almost
it
about
happen, like 3 times? And then
It happened 3 times.
3 or 4 times, and then this lady still didn't come down and turn it off.
A total of 3 times. This woman, she had to have seen her phone do this. The phone's flashlight strobes. It strobe lights like 4 times. And she just ignored it. And it's so insane. It's like, this is why I don't like seeing movies in theaters. It's not about the movie. It's not about the experience. It's about the fucking people being so... They're just talking. They're loud.
Dude, that was at Dune, wasn't it?
It was, yes, it was
at
Dune 2,
2, brother. They ruined Dune 2.
Oh my god. Dune 2 was such a good movie, and all throughout Dune 2, there is a woman's phone just going off, blinding me and Dmilz. I want to go back there and fucking strangle her. Like, I'm still... it makes me so fucking mad, dude. Like, ugh.
Yeah, it was very frustrating.
I love movie theaters. I always loved going to the movie theater as a little kid. You know, going with mom and pa to see like fucking Despicable Me,
The Dark Knight,
The Dark Knight, seeing,
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean. They brought me to the girl with the dragon tattoo. Like seeing all these movies in theaters, great movies. Like it's just in great experiences. But I don't know what happened. People that go to the theaters are just inconsiderate. They talk, and they don't talk in a quiet volume. They talk loudly. They're having conversations in the movie.
Yeah, the last time that I went to the movie and it was a decent experience with a good amount of people in there was when I saw Quiet Place the first time.
And that was like, what? That was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, and it was
I
only
sound like an
because
Irish
that
lad.
movie is so quiet, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's the scenes
Yeah.
where there's no music,
Yeah. 'cause
no audio, and it's just, like, dead silent. And
it's
then
just like tense breathing.
yeah, and after the first, like, you know, well, there's that deaf girl in the movie. So after, like, the first time or two of that happening, people got so quiet on all those parts, they don't even chew popcorn. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's called decency. That's called good movie watchers. A bad movie watcher is a person that needs to charge their phone during the movie.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. Yeah,
That is crazy.
who brings a phone charger into the movie theater?
That's
It's like,
insane. You have a phone charger in your pocket walking into the movie theater. I need to call the police on you. Like, my only option is to call the police on you.
I don't know how, like, the person who comes in and checks the fucking, like, that comes in with the stick and checks didn't see that and go, like, unplug it or, like, go, like, what the fuck,
Exactly.
who's this?
They probably just didn't come in. They just don't have people watching from like the fucking film camera room at all anymore. They don't have people coming in to like do little checks. Just insane. Like,
Yeah, they were busy that day, maybe.
How do you expect to go to the movie theater and have a good time when the whole experience has been ruined by people? Not by like the theater, by people.
And then there's always, like, tons of open seats, and someone picks that one seat right
Yeah,
next to you,
the-
just one over.
In every theater now, like every time you go see a movie, you have to choose the seats. Brother, when I was growing up, you bought the tickets. If the shit was sold out, that's tough luck.
Yeah, I don't like the where you reserve seats now that much because it costs more to order online too because they charge you those convenience fees.
Yeah, the convenience.
It used to be better when you got first serve or first come first serve, in my opinion. Now they charge you like $4.20 or more convenience fee.
smoke weed every day.
Yeah, I don't know why. I feel like it's been that number exactly multiple times when I've ordered tickets because I order those IMAX tickets sometimes.
Just some troll ass CEO.
Yeah, so I get annoyed every time I see convenience fee added for a charge. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna drive 20 minutes to the or like 12 minutes to the theater to go buy the tickets 2 weeks ahead of time. So it's kind of frustrating that I have to buy them 2 weeks ahead of time online and pay extra money.
Yeah, and like when we were growing up, it used to be like the term was pennies on the dollar. Do you remember that? Pennies on
Yeah,
the dollar.
of
So
course.
like credit card transactions would be like pennies on the dollar. Shit's now dollars on the dollars. Like, it's insane. Like, it's you spend $19 to go see a movie, maybe. if you want to get a drink and some popcorn. You spend
Oh,
$19
more
to go
than
see a
that.
movie. You spend more than $20. You want a drink and popcorn to go see a movie. And then you have a woman flashing her flashlight at you the entire time. That's fun. That makes you want to go to the theaters more often.
Or a baby crying.
Or a baby crying.
Or
What
a couple talking.
Exactly. Like a couple smooching, like a couple 17-year-olds like trying to finger each other in the like it's fucking, these people need to move on. Get the fuck out of the theater. I'm trying to watch movies.
Dude, there was a theater. I went and saw like, what is the comedy with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg? Daddy's Home or something.
Stepdads or something like that.
You know what I'm talking about. There was a sequel to that with like Mel Gibson, like their fathers in it, and Mel Gibson's like Mark Wahlberg's dad, and like the weird goofy comedian guy. I can't think of his name, but he's like Will Ferrell's dad. Yeah, anyway, we were at the theater seeing that, me and my mom, and dude, there were like these kids up in the top that like literally were like yelling and like obnoxiously like purposely like laughing like at
Dude,
dumb scenes and
Jesus.
just being terribly obnoxious the entire
It's like-
movie, and that was probably like one of the worst. That might have been worse experience for me than the one we just had.
And
Now
they
that I
wanna
think
talk-
about worst movie experience, like my worst movie experiences, that might have been up there for number one.
And why don't movies do good in theaters? Not because no one wants to see it. Like, people don't want to see it in theaters, not because it's a theater. It's because of the people. Like, people are so inconsiderate in theaters. It's like, it happens like almost every time. That's why I was telling you, I don't like going to theaters with people in it, because it's like, these people are
You're always chomping.
going to ruin your experience. They just do. Like, maybe just me, maybe we're crazy, but like, I want to go to the movie and watch the movie and enjoy it. I'm hearing people talk behind me. I'm hearing people chew popcorn, and that's fine, chewing the popcorn, but people are talking. People are charging their phones.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
This is crazy. Where have we become in a society where we can go into the movie theaters and act like it's a zoo? This is a movie theater. This is supposed to be America's pastime entertainment or something. You know
What's
what I
the
mean?
solution?
Brother, I've got a couple solutions for you, but you're not going to want to ask me. You know I'm not the person to ask for solutions. I go to the extremes quick. Here's my solution. How about we just pre-screen every person?
Pre-screenings for movies. Just break everyone's rights for a movie to see a movie.
You got to send an ID. You got to send in your health records. You got to do a fingerprint testing. And then you can see a movie in theaters.
Yeah, I don't
And
think
after all
anyone's
of that-
going to the movies anymore. With your policies, I don't think anyone's seeing a single movie again.
Listen, guys, I'll be 35 in the year 2037. So let's vote me for whatever presidency that's going to be. What's that going to be? 2040? Right? I think it'd be 2040, because if it's every 4 years and there's a presidential race in 2000, 2004, then yeah, I can run in 2040. My earliest. You think I should?
I think you should go for a lower position first. Maybe a representative, maybe a governor, maybe a senator.
Well, I've got plenty of time until then.
Yeah, you
I
can
could-
do that a lot younger. So
Brother,
you
trust me.
You gotta get going.
I'm going to start greasing wheels here soon.
Greasing wheel and sucking ass to get to the top.
I'm just eating guys' asses to get to the top.
Whatever you gotta do, brother. I know you'll make it there one day.
Oh my god. Oh my god. just the idea that I have to eat guys' asses to get to the governor's position is fucking so insane.
I think you're taking it a little too seriously.
Oh, of course I am. Of course I am, but it's just funny for the joke. Just for the joke, I do. But yeah. Oh god. Fucking people in the movie theaters, man, they just piss me off. Like, there's so many good movies that me and Dmilz talk
You
about.
gotta get to the top of AMC theaters and ban all people. Make a new rule that bans all people that talk above a certain decibel in the movie theater or bring accessories in the movie theater.
Some of these famous comedy clubs have these things called yonder bags. So before you go into the comedy show, you have to put your phone into this little bag. I think that might be a good adaptation, genuinely. As crazy as that sounds.
People can't be trusted to turn off or silence their phones.
Not anymore. Genuinely. They genuinely cannot.
They barely were able to do it back in 2007 still. So
Exactly.
The old people couldn't figure out how their ringers worked just even back then, I remember.
And even
when the Sprint thing would pop up for like 2.5 minutes before the movie. Remember, it would sometimes the movie wouldn't start for 4 minutes. It would just be stuck on the Sprint screen and the movie wouldn't start and you'd be waiting. That would happen sometimes, like before the movie would start, they'd have an issue or something up top. So you'd just be watching the Sprint screen waiting for the movie to start for like 5-10
The one
minutes.
I would remember would be like it would kind of just be like a long one. It would be like just like please remember that during the movie and blah, 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 it is considerate to please silence your cell phones.
There's like both of those, I think, at Regal.
Yeah, that's like the one I remember seeing. It's just like the long, wordy bullshit. And it's just like, yeah, who do you think's listening to that?
Certainly not the old person who doesn't know how to silence their cell phone.
And even when Apple made it easy, just the click of a button, still not happening.
Yeah, people still can't figure it out.
Still can't figure it out.
It was a switch and now it's a button.
Exactly. No matter how easy Apple makes it, the boomers
You
still
can
can't
even
figure it
slide.
out.
You can just do it on your screen now. You don't even have to push the button. You know what I mean? You can just go to your control center.
That's true. On the new iPhone 15.
Yeah.
On the all-new Apple iPhone 15
Is
Pro.
that only on the 15?
I don't have that on my phone.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
I probably
You can't do
can. Let's
Your
see.
control center?
That's my control center. It's a piece of shit, dog shit, but I have a
Oh.
13. So I don't got
I
anything
see. I
fancy.
guess maybe, yeah. I don't
My
know. Maybe
control
that is
center's dog
exclusive
shit.
to the 15.
Yeah, my control center's dog shit, dude. When I see your control center, that shit's fucking fire.
It's
It's got
got,
setup,
like-
dude. It's
like-
got everything in the world on it. My control center's dog shit.
I didn't realize it was so much different.
Yeah, the control center on the 13 is like all I want is the flashlight and the alarms.
I had
just
that,
need to
I
go
had
turn
that
on my
10R for a
alarms.
long time. This is a nice little upgrade.
130.
Apparently my phone can run Resident Evil 4 Remake and Death Stranding on it, but it turns into like hot lava if I do.
It just starts melting.
Apparently
it
it
just
heats
gets
up
so
pretty hot.
just starts
If you-
melting.
The USB-C makes it pretty hot. You just plug this phone in and it
Dude.
gets pretty hot.
I late at night when my hands are cold, I will use the wireless charger to warm my hands up. No joke. The wireless charger on
Oh,
the
yeah, I
back
don't
of my
really use the
phone,
wireless
dude,
charging.
that thing gets to a good 98 degrees. That thing is hot.
But yeah, the USB-C, dude, that shit is a lot hotter. Your phone immediately, especially if you're doing something on it, even if you're not actually, if I just have it locked over there, plugged in, it'll heat up too.
Yeah.
You can feel it immediately when you grab it and unplug it. It's kind of weird. I mean, I guess it's good that it charges so fast, but I'm kind of sketched that it heats the phone up so much. I'm worried that the liquid metal or whatever in there might
Like
melt over time. I don't
Remember
know.
what was it, like the Samsung 5 or the 6 series that would like blow up? Remember that?
Yeah, there was a couple Samsung models that were blowing up. I remember
you
those.
like couldn't take them on planes.
Oh, really?
I remember that, dude. I'll try to find like an article and maybe link it in or something. But it was like an article I remember. It was like I think it was like the Samsung Galaxy 7, maybe 6, 8, something like
It was
that.
the
where-
6S Edge.
Yeah, you could you were like not allowed to bring that shit on planes, dude. That shit was like 100% gonna blow up. It's that lithium ion.
There was the
battery, that shit was
PSPs.
trash. Yeah, it's true.
Wasn't the
batteries blow.
PSPs like expanding? Like the batteries would
Those
expand.
Batteries expand and blow too.
Yeah, and then you would just like fuck up your entire PSP. That sucks.
It's fun.
I was real
technology,
worried
buddy.
when I got the PSP because the one I bought from you actually didn't have a battery. So when I bought a battery on Amazon, I was worried that shit was gonna like blow up my PSP.
Yeah, I think when I sold you that PSP, I told you that fucking the battery I took out of it was blown up. It was like puffed. It looked like a fucking pillow.
Yeah, there's another one I got later on, like a green PSP, and that one has a stock battery still. Dude, it smells kind of funky.
Yeah. One day when this podcast steps up a level, we'll have a video for you guys, and then you will see the famous green PSP.
And you can see the famous PSP Metal Gear Solid Edition.
Metal Gear Solid Edition.
Solid Snake.
we got about 54 minutes in. I think we do a short one today, unless you want to get into the rap beefs, or you want me to just end it with that Reddit question.
We can end it with that, yeah.
The Reddit question?
Yeah, we can do a mini short episode just talking about the beef.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah, we should do that. So, I'll get into this Reddit question. I found this question on r/askmen. The title is How to Cope with Girlfriend Dresses. Give me 1 second. Take my headphones off right here so I can lock in.
Also, from what I heard from a coworker, just before we get off this, I heard that I think Kendrick made it so we could just play his songs and they won't copyright us right now.
That's good.
So we can play his songs and react to them.
That's good. That's good.
Like if we want to, I think we can actually just listen to him on the podcast and talk about the lines and stuff.
I've gotten not strikes, but I've gotten 2 copyright warnings on the last 2 videos. Do I care about what YouTube's got to say? Fuck no. Am I still going to do it again? Hell yeah. Am I scared that we're going to lose the channel and never make money? Yes, of course I am.
We don't want strikes.
I don't want any strikes.
Okay.
But yes, I have the last 2 videos I have said they have had.
If you get us 1 strike, then we have only 2 more strikes till our channel's gone.
The biggest thing that it said is that like the only thing about it is that the video can't be played in Russia, which is like, I guess I don't really care. It's not like the biggest loss in the world that the Russians can't see my misinformation, but no big loss for them.
We
anyways.
mentioned Ukraine in an episode. That's probably why I told you. It was probably episode.
Yeah, not just that, but just like the copyright shit was just like, I don't know, just weird Russian war going on right now where they don't want copyright shit going on. But I found this question. It's on r/askmen. It's how to cope with how girlfriend dresses. I was wondering what guys thought about their girlfriend or about women in general wearing extremely provocative clothes. If it's your girlfriend, how do you handle it? How do you look at other guys in the eye and not feel uncomfortable when they move their gaze from your girlfriend's nipples to your eyes? Kind of sounds like a gay poem at this point, a little bit. I won't lie. I'm talking booty shorts and white crop tops with no bra. She's got both large ass and breasts, so it's pretty much impossible not to stare at what's on display, just like it would be impossible not to look at someone who's walking around in public naked. Fair point, however, don't correlate necessarily. She definitely dresses way outside of the norm. She even told me that her mom asked what I thought about the way she dresses and that her brother suggested that she put on more in the past. I want to be able to look at people and smile at them and say hi or have a conversation, but it's weird when you look at them and they're staring at your girlfriend's nipples or ass that's hanging out of her shorts.
This guy has mental... He's like worrying.
Oh, brother. That's what I was going to get into.
All right, keep going, yeah.
But it's weird when you look at them and they're staring at your girlfriend's nipples or ass that's hanging out of her shorts. Then when they look at me, it's just uncomfortable situation, especially since I see the semi-guilty look on their face like, oh, my bad, dude. I get it, though. I don't blame these people one bit for staring. When I'm around a woman that dresses like this, I also can't help but to check out what's on display.
Oh, wow. So he's cheating on his girlfriend,
so
too.
He also... So this guy doesn't want guys to look at his girlfriend, but it's okay for... It's also like my eyes are magnetically drawn to it, and I have to tell myself consciously to stop looking because it's creepy to stare. I would be fine with her wearing crop tops with no bra if she at least wore a pair of shorts that was more practical. The stuff she wears is just over the top and doesn't really even look at that great because she looks like a hoochie who's desperate for attention. That's crazy. That's crazy, guys.
Just call
you don't want to call your girlfriend a hoochie.
A hoochie mama?
That's not a good look. Calling your girlfriend a hoochie is just... That's not a great start. And that's how he ended.
Oh, wow, that's it.
No, he goes on saying, like, I would like to also say that my girlfriend's an amazing woman, has a very beautiful feminine energy to her, and I don't want to make her feel bad. I just feel very uncomfortable being in public with the way she's dressed. Understandable.
Why doesn't he talk to her about this? Why is he asking Reddit? This dude's a Redditor. I mean,
this guy's the average Redditor. Instead of just talking to his girlfriend about this.
I mean, he's literally on Reddit, of course. Like,
yeah. So, one thing I have to say to this guy is you grow up. You grow up. This brother has like some sort of demon problem where he can't accept the way his girlfriend dresses. And if she dresses quote unquote slutty and he doesn't like that, then
he shouldn't be with her then.
Brother, you can't change that.
If he won't talk to her about it,
and he
say
just
how
doesn't
he
like
feels, then he shouldn't be with her.
There we go. We're on the same page. The brother is just on a level that, like, he is just a little crazy with it. Number 2, the part where he's like, I just feel uncomfortable when guys look at my girlfriend. But I also look at guys' girlfriends. I also look at girls. Like, brother, what are we talking about here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, brother, what are we talking about here? You're doing the same thing that you like. The thing that makes you uncomfortable that guys are doing, you're doing it too. It's a little hypocritical. And this is average for guys to do. Even when they have a girlfriend. You look at another girl, it happens. You know what I mean? This is what happens.
That's cheating to some girls, dude.
To some girls, that's cheating.
To a lot of girls,
To
that's
good girls,
cheating.
it shouldn't be cheating. You know what I mean? Cheating is like trying to create like an emotional or even like an emotional. Did I say emotional? I think I said emotional twice. Physical or like an emotional. Or like even
But what
like...
if you're staring at a girl's ass when you're with your girlfriend?
See, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Is that not cheating?
I'm not relationship expert 101, but I would like to say if me or you are imagining it the same way where you're just staring at a girlfriend's ass and your girlfriend's around you, then yeah, probably a little bit. There's like a little bit, maybe not cheating, but there's something wrong with it.
That's you're definitely guilty of
Something odd, some
not,
weird like thing where you would rather look at other girls instead of your girlfriend, which is not a good look. That's not good for a relationship. So one, brother has to grow up. You can't... One thing I was going to say is, in my first relationship, I realized is you can't try to change people. You know what I mean? You can try to do what's best for you and try to change yourself and try to be the best person you can be. And maybe that influence affects another person or affects a significant other. But you cannot try to change another person. You know what I mean? Trying to change another person is essentially a little bit of trying to control. You know what I mean? You can't like change a person. You have to let that person find that change themselves if they want it. You know what I mean? So that's one for that guy. He needs to just get over it, or maybe just talk to the girlfriend about it. 2, now this one's gonna get a little bit out of left field, brother, so strap in. 2, I like to call this one the shame method. Shame method will work. Shame method will also get you not looked at in the good eyes of God. So it's not something we should be looking into. But the shame method...
So only do it if you're agnostic.
I would say only do this if you are an atheist. If you genuinely believe there's no God, then the shame method is for you. The shame method goes a little bit like telling your girlfriend that you hate the way she dresses. That the way she dresses is horrible and you don't want to see her like that. You shame. That's the shame method. This can work on mentally unstable people. I never once said this is a good method. I will say it's a bad method. But I'm here to help brother find all his options, you know what I mean? I'm not going to leave all options off the table if I can find options. This is just another option I had thought about. I didn't say it's good. It'll probably get his relationship ended. But that's all right. Brother's got his own problems to deal with.
His relationship should already be over.
I don't know about that. It's just that's just a little wild, you know what I mean? Relationships are 50-50, you know what I mean? You can't try to control one side. You can't try to control the way one dresses. You can certainly express your opinions, but trying to control or change is just not what's going to work. So, yeah, that was a good Ask Reddit.
That was interesting. That was a good story.
It was an interesting one. It was a wild story. It was one that I thought
I don't know why he wanted to share that, but...
Yeah, I don't know why he wanted to share that.
He should have just talked to her by himself, but thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing.
You gave us a few extra minutes to talk about that on the podcast.
Yeah. And with that, I think we will head out of here.
kind of going to keep it short today because the last couple ones have been long, and we're just going to kind of keep it simple. We got to work on the next episode, which is going to be a full depth and dive of the rap beef between Kendrick and Drake. You're going to want to tune into that one. So with this, I will leave you another great question. When you wake up in the morning, do you try to be the best person you can be? Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.